In video game design, there is a technique called Frustum Culling. Computers have limited processing power, so to save energy, the computer only renders the geometry that falls inside the player's field of view. Everything behind your back is deleted. It doesn't exist until you turn around. It's a smart trick. But here is the problem. Physicists are starting to suspect that our universe uses the exact same trick. We assume reality is out there, independent, solid. But quantum mechanics suggests that reality is actually in here. The chair you are sitting on, the phone in your hand, the stars in the sky. What if they're just data streams waiting for a consciousness to decode them? What if the universe is essentially lazy, and it only bothers to exist when you decide to look at it?
Let's go back to the double-slit experiment, but let's look at a detail that terrifies scientists. When we shoot electrons through two slits, they create an interference pattern. They act like waves, like water. They go through both slits at the same time. This is impossible for a solid object. So scientists decided to spy on them. They place a detector next to the slits to see exactly which path the electron took. And this is where the magic, or the horror, happens. The moment the detector was turned on, the electrons stopped acting like waves. They snapped back into solid particles. They chose one path. The pattern on the wall changed from a wave to two solid bands. Think about what this implies. The electron knew it was being watched. It knew the information was being recorded, and it changed its behavior to fit our expectation of reality. It's as if the universe is saying, "Oh, you're looking. Okay, let me render a solid object for you. But when you turn away, I'm going back to being a ghost."
Skeptics will say, maybe the detector just physically disturbed the electron. So, in 1999, scientists performed the delayed choice quantum eraser experiment. This is the part that should keep you awake at night. They set it up so the measurement happens after the electron has already passed through the slits. Basically, the electron chooses to be a wave or a particle before we decide to look at it. The results were impossible. If the scientists decided to destroy the information in the future, the electron behaved like a wave in the past. If the scientists decided to keep the information, the electron behaved like a particle in the past. Let that sink in. Your decision to look at something now actually changed what happened moments ago. Time is not a straight line. Cause does not always come before effect. The observer doesn't just create the present. The observer creates the history leading up to it.
Let's leave the quantum lab and look at your own body. Biocentrism argues that the entire universe is a construction of your mind. Think about it. Your brain sits in a skull. It is dark. It is silent. It has never seen the sun. It has never touched a tree. All it receives are electrical signals. Take the color red. Does a rose have redness? No. A rose has atoms reflecting a specific wavelength of light. Red only exists when that wavelength hits your eye and your brain creates the experience of red. Without you, there is no red. There is no cold. There is no pain. There is no sound. There is just silent, dark, colorless energy. You are not exploring the universe. You are painting it.
This explains the Goldilocks enigma. Why is the universe perfectly fine-tuned for life? If gravity was slightly stronger, stars would crush us. If it was slightly weaker, stars wouldn't form. Scientists say we are incredibly lucky to be in the one universe that supports us, but biocentrism says no. Luck has nothing to do with it. The universe looks perfect for life because life created the universe. We are the consciousness that collapses the wave function. We are the reason the lights are on. So, the next time you are alone, try to catch reality off guard. Turn around quickly. See if the world lags. Or ask yourself the most terrifying question of all. If reality requires an observer to exist, then who is observing you to keep you alive? Are you player one? Or are you just part of the background scenery for someone else? I'm Deconstruct the Future. And remember, the world is only real while you are watching this video. Subscribe before the screen goes black.